Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Is It a Buy, where we talk about stocks and try to determine if they are with a buy or maybe a pass. My name is Corey. I just like to preface the video by saying I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy who likes to talk about stocks, so please take what I say with a grain of salt, all right? Let's get into it. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Monday morning, Lee is number one. Let's take a look. Let's see what's going on in the day, see what is happening right now, and we'll keep it moving, all right? So, taking a look here, I do see AMC. So let me go ahead and actually I'm going to clear some of these off just to get a little more organized here. This way we have good old AMC and GameStop at the very top. All right, you see AMC is up 0.11% on the day, just in the pre-market, nothing too crazy, nothing too interesting. And GameStop down just a tad. So GameStop is down, let's see, 0.62% in the pre-market. So a lot, a lot of just sideways action. And I'm like, we talk about this, guys. I'm perfectly fine with this sideways action. What I want to see though is I want to see this stock, get. I think everyone wants a little more volume. And I think a lot of people will feel good about that. It looks a little oversold on the RSI. I wonder what's going to happen today. Some people are theorizing it's going to kind of be like a down day or a down week. And that's just kind of like to prepare for everything that is about to happen, everything that is going on. And so it's very, very possible. I'm just going to go ahead and wait. I do have a little bit of money, on the side waiting for one of these to have a super dip. And so whichever one dips really hard, I'll probably buy that one. So I'm just waiting for that. For AMC, it'd probably have to go, oh gosh, I don't know what I would buy in, probably $8 or lower. GameStop probably 120 or lower. So I'll see what happens first. If both of them happen, then maybe I'll divide it. I'm not really too sure about what I'll do at that point. But Johnson, what's up, Captain Cash? You're buying some more AMC today? First time watching live. Good work so far. Growing fast. Hey, thank you, Mario. I appreciate that. Yeah, just continuing to grind, continuing to work on it. Unfortunately, I did not release any videos this weekend, which is kind of messing with my head. But I worked really hard on just channel updates, and so those are kind of behind the scenes right now. I do have some big stuff. I found a merch store that I found a bunch of stuff that I'm getting ready for. So just a lot of preparation, in just kind of investing in myself right now to make sure that this channel continues to grow, and you guys are getting what you want. A lot of work into the course. So I have like a whole structure for the course. All I'm doing now is I'm going to organize it. Probably next weekend, I'm going to come back to you guys and let you know, hey, this is what I have for the course so far, and make sure you guys approve of it. Make sure you guys like the structure. If you guys want me to move anything around, and after that, it will be just recording. And that's what I'll be doing mostly on the weekends. And then hopefully I can release the course by early next month or end of this month. I don't know. It really depends on how fast I'll be able to get the course out. There's a lot of things I want to cover. I don't want to do it too quickly. I just want to make sure I do it right. But hopefully I'll be able to get that course out within a month or something. So that'd be fantastic. Florex, hello, welcome. So nothing too exciting on these stocks so far this morning. We're still in the pre-market, so nothing too crazy going on. But let's take a look. Let's see who's doing well today. And so, man, we have this company up 70% on the day so far. Just insane. Let's see if there's anything else that we recognize or anything at all we recognize. Here's ears. I know some people like ears. And that's kind of it. Nothing too crazy. I've seen some things on reddit.com. Oops. So I've seen some pretty interesting articles on here. Let me see if there's anything I wanted to. Okay, so this is very interesting. So this is what Joshua says, and he's a big Twitter, like famous Twitter person, whatever. And he says, "Oh, I gotta sneeze." Excuse me. So AMC is currently sitting at a record high short interest. It's the most it's ever been shorted, which is crazy. Just so crazy. And I'm feeling so good about it. Okay. Also, Trey is going to be tweeting Elon Musk at 1 p.m. Central. And to be in the Apes Together doc. If you guys haven't seen this video in the Apes Together doc, holy smokes, it's going to be so cool. I'm looking forward to that big time. There's going to be a few documentaries out. I think I've heard of 3 so far. I'm not sure which I'm allowed to like mention, but but there's going to be 3 so far. Billy, what's up, Billy? Billy says, as a new investor who entered with GME, if we skyrocket, what's your advice on selling and making profit? So Billy, it's kind of difficult. That's actually something I am going to be covering in my course, exit strategies. And so for exit strategies, it is going to be, there's a few different options for like exit strategies. So a lot of people, what they're looking at is, if we were to look at AMC, right? And let's look at the 3-month. And if we go back here, right, a lot of people, they'd rather sell on the way down so they're not missing anything. So for example, instead of selling like, up here, right, like instead of selling at like $15, like that's huge. And so you're afraid it's going to dip or something. So instead of like getting out here, you wait and you miss the top and then you buy it on the way down. So instead of selling at like $15, $16, you sell at $19 after, even at $17 whenever it's on the way down. And this way, yes, you missed the top, but you didn't sell like on the way up. And so that is just one option for an exit strategy. Just kind of watching it closely, and yeah, so that's one of the options. And so there's just a few different ways to play it. I touched my trend line. I hate it when I do that. Will it just grab? Oh yeah, it just moves. Okay, I just was testing that one. So now I touched all my trend lines. Look at the 5 days, see what's going on. So anyways, yes, that is an option. Michelle, good morning. Johnson says, I hear that they do the share recount done by 420. What do you think will happen if they turn out that all the shares are taken? Johnson, it's so hard to say what exactly is going to happen. Like AMC's recounting, I think GameStop is recounting, or I think GameStop is recounting. I think was the 421. But it's like, okay, whenever they recount them, I'm sure they'll see that. Well, I suppose what would happen is they'll see that there are more shares trading than are available in the float. So how many shares should actually be trading? There's going to be more shares. And then I think what they'll see is, so maybe at that point they do a share, not a recount, but a recall or something. And hopefully that will trigger something to force these guys to cover. I actually saw an extremely interesting, I don't know if it was an interview. I don't know where I saw it, but somebody said, whenever it's time to for these hedge funds to get margin calls, they said that you don't want to be last. And I thought that was actually a very interesting point. So let me explain to you what I mean. So let's say this stock is about, let's go back to this 3-month, and let's go back here, right? Let's use AMC as an example, right? Let's say we're here or something. And so let's say we're about to margin call, and these hedge funds are going to have to margin call. Let's say, Citadel and Melvin. Let's say Citadel is closer to margin calling than Melvin is. So if Citadel margin calls first, then they get to start buying down here and then buy up. Whereas, and then they will theoretically trigger Melvin's margin call. And I don't know who's lower, but for example, and then they could, so theoretically, so if Citadel starts buying up here, Melvin is going to have to buy up here. And no one wants to buy up here. Because then you're starting there. That's your floor. So I saw a very interesting theory that what's probably going to happen is they're going to just be on an all out war while their hedge funds on the same side, I suppose, on this. Theoretically, they said they're going to be an all out war. So they're going to all be buying here, creating extra buying pressure. Other retail investors are going to buy in, more people are going to buy in, they're going to chase the stock. And holy smokes, I think it's going to go nuts because there's going to be, buy, I just keep going up. And I thought that was actually a very, very interesting concept that I had not thought about before. And that gets me very, very excited. Florex says, it's funny how soon you go to work, and I end my job in about 40 minutes. That is insane because I have to I guess theoretically, well, yes, it is insane because I go straight to work after this, straight to work. I'm dressed for work already. Thank you. Rafter, good morning. SOS popping. I have SOS over here. It looks like it's up 6% on the day. Um, I don't know if I'd say popping, but it looks, up 6% is not bad at all. Not bad at all. We'll see what happens during the regular trading hours. Maybe it'll skyrocket. Look at this buy order, 20,000. Um, oh my gosh, insane. Lee says, smash that like button. Eric says, Corey, how are you doing? AMC and Cost. Let's see what Cost is doing. Cost. So it looks like they had a good after hours. And they're down just a little bit in the pre-market, but not too bad. Let's zoom out a little bit, see how these guys are doing on the 5-day. Okay, just a lot of stocks with this pattern right here, just kind of descending for last week, and so that's all right. So what I do for work, I'm a web developer. Daryl. I make websites. If you were able to ask Adam Aaron one question, what would you ask? That's a great question. I don't know what I would ask him. I would, knowing me, here's the deal. I would do so much research. I would look at all this stuff, and I would compare questions and like think of what exactly is going to happen, because realistically, Adam Aaron, while I don't care for him trying to push the those 500 million shares so much, I think it would be extremely important to know what he wants to do with them. But I think in order to rally like apes, I think the question would have to be something that gets apes excited. Like, do you think the squeeze is going to happen? Are you doing anything just to kickstart the short squeeze? Like, what are your thoughts on the short squeeze? I think something like that could really drive something, but I don't think he's allowed to answer anything like that. He would not be allowed, and he might be able to, but I don't think his lawyers are going to let him answer anything like that, because because of his relation to the company as well as his influence. If he were to influence people, because he kind of gets paid off like the price of the stock, and so there's some weird things in there. But I would love for him that it would be something along those lines. Akimbo, good morning. Billy says, you are by far the best channel when it comes to stock talk, man. Keep it up. Much appreciation coming from Colorado. Thank you, Billy. I appreciate that. Guys, it's okay if we like other stocks. I don't know why people are hating on SOS and all these other stocks. Guys, if somebody likes SOS, let them like SOS. That's okay. You can like other stocks. It's not like infidelity or something. Jeez. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Florex says, but say it hits 10K, then goes down to about 5 or 6K, and people paper handing. How can we keep people knowing it's not the peak, or it will go higher than 100K or more? People will never know. This is the trickiest part about this kind of short squeeze is there's a bunch of individual apes, whereas a lot of people like to try and compare it to the VW squeeze, where it was two entities that were holding the majority versus millions of apes. And so that's why it's very, very difficult to see exactly what is going to happen. There's no way. The only thing is you can hope they're on Reddit and they're saying 100K and they hold until 100K or something. But, you know, it's tricky. It just matters on kind of the majority. So, uh, I don't know. It's gonna be very, very interesting to see how this plays out. I'm looking forward to it. My strategy personally is to sell on the way down. So for example, like let's go back here again, right? So let's say it's gonna go up to, and let me just zoom out a little bit. And let's say it's gonna go up to, let's say this is like $100 or whatever, or let's see. Let's say this is $10,000. I'm perfectly happy with not selling at $10,000 and selling on the way down at 3,000. Like, if I missed, of course, that would like suck, but anything above $100, I'm like literally happy with. So I really don't mind holding and then just waiting, on whenever it dips. And I think it very much has the possibility to go past $100 in my personal opinion. People I've seen pretty good arguments why 2000 is good. Like I said, I do have a guy who wants to come on the stream saying 10,000 is good. I'm waiting on his DD to be sent to me, and we'll see how I feel about it. It might be a little too tinfoil hat for me, but if it is like good DD enough to be presented to people, then yeah, I'll absolutely bring him on, let him explain his case, and we'll go from there. But I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, I would rather just personally, and here's the deal. Some people are going to miss the top, some people are going to sell too early, sell too late, whatever it is. But personally, I have some goals in my mind, and I'm fine with a couple $1,000,000. I don't need to be greedy. I don't need $50 million. I'm fine with a couple $1,000,000, set myself up for early retirement, and I'm good. So I'm gonna be, and I'm not afraid to kind of bag hold for some people, just to, or not like force it, but just personally, I'm not too scared to be bag holding, just because I have a very good position, and it doesn't need to go up very high for me to hold. I don't mind if I miss the top, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So just my personal thoughts on it. But you really have to see what is going to be the right strategy for you. Johnson says, Captain, I heard Wells Fargo got more shares in February. So okay, so here's the deal. That's actually a good point. So I believe they filed in, what was it? There was something different about that. Let me see. Wells Fargo, AMC. Maybe I should type Reddit. This one. So let's take a look at this, because yeah, a couple $1,000,000 does sound all right. So here's what I saw. Yes, this was in the fourth quarter of last year. So they've been in since December. They got in around $2 or something. So they're sitting pretty. They did not just buy on, they just filed. And that is important to keep in mind. They just filed, which I can't believe they can take so long to file. I think it's a little ridiculous. But yes, they didn't just buy in, they just filed that they bought in. They've been in the company. They rode the first wave, and I don't know how long when they sell. I don't know how long they have to wait to file. I'll have to see, but yes. Let's see. Legalities. I saw the fidelity probability calculator had AMC going to $800 this month, a 32% chance. Holy smokes. I mean, guys, there's still chance. We still have. I'm very curious to see what the action is going to be between now and May 4th, that meeting, because I believe by May 4th, they're going to be done counting the shares. We're still waiting on the DTCC filings. Let's take a look here. Okay, yes, we've covered 802. I got a little excited there. Here's 801. Still waiting on these, and so that's that. We're still waiting on these things. I'm curious what's gonna happen in the next few months. And you know what? I've waited this long. I can wait a little longer. I have no problem. I'm sitting very pretty. I saw a stock that shot up from. Yes, there was a stock that shot up. AS from. It was $200 to like $30,000 or something. And we did kind of cover that here. I don't know the exact situation. I don't know if that was a short squeeze. I don't know for all I know, it was a stock split, a reverse split or something. So just kind of taking that for what it is. But we have seen some crazy things on this channel that we covered. Like ACY is one of them that had this crazy run right here from about, $2 or whatever, all the way up to $38. And again, I don't know this exact situation, but we've seen that there's some crazy things that happen with stocks that are very, very possible. And so just kind of waiting on that. And actually, I do want to set a price alert for this one for myself for price below $9. Because I have an interesting theory with this one. I see how this one drops. I guess I should have been $10, or it's under 10. Well, because I see this one consolidates and then it kind of has a run. See how it like drops and then runs and then drops and then runs and then drops and small runs. I'm gonna keep an eye on this one, but I'll let you guys know if I do anything. Johnson with the $5 donation. Thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate that. Holding solo. I don't think I'm holding solo. Oh, this is, I like this. Silver Generation says, you create a peak by being the first one to sell. If no one sells it, it will peak later. Very interesting. What's up, Mark? So looks like Joshua did just do a tweet. Twitter. Is the right guy? Yes. Tweets. Okay, so this was wait. Yeah. This was just posted just now. Oh man, the market just opened. Let's take a look at this. We'll see what's going on in the market, and we'll continue. Actually, let's take a look first, and then we'll go back to that. Let's take a look at good old AMC and see what is happening. So we got a first candle kind of trying to decide which way it wants to go. It looks, oh boy, it's looking a little green right now. I'm loving it. 0.58% so far in this first minute. This is going to close in 10 seconds. We'll see what it looks like, and I'm liking it. I'm not hating it so far. Ian, good morning. Good morning, Salva. All right, and it did close. It's a very small candle, large wicks though, and we'll see which way this is gonna go. GameStop with a red candle. Now it looks like it may be a green candle. Granted, this just started, so we'll let these kind of think about itself for a second. Let's go back to this quote, or not the quote, the post, the tweet. Oh, Johnson, did my message didn't go through? That's a tip for you. Have a great day. Hey, thanks, Johnson. If you had a question, feel free to ask, my friend. I'm more than happy to. Let's see. ATS, so the dark pool update as of 3/8. Remember, so this is data delayed by 4 weeks. So it's not going to be the most up-to-date data, but it's the most up-to-date we can get it until something changes with like FINRA and all these different organizations or whoever it would be. Okay. So AMC is in the top 10 of stocks traded through like dark pools in the United States. 26 million shares, 133K trades. So top traders: UBS, Interactive Brokers, Credit Suisse, Level ATS, Virtue Financial. What's interesting that, is this the actual link here? Sure, I'll agree. Oh, I wonder if I need to. Okay, I don't know how to use this website. So OTC ATS. Does he have a picture? He doesn't. All right, that's okay. Interesting. I don't know if that really means anything right this second, if that really helps, but we'll see. Serene, good morning. Good morning. AS says, this is literally the easiest hold ever. I mean, it's worth $25 minimally, a post-pandemic play. You can't lose. AS, I actually share a very like the same sentiment essentially. Even without the squeeze, this is, in my personal opinion, this is a fantastic stock. In my personal opinion, and so that is why I'm perfectly fine with just holding and and waiting for the squeeze. If it squeezes, which I do think it will, fantastic. Let's see, for some reason they figure a way to weasel their way out of it. I still think it's a fantastic play, worth, in my personal opinion, I think AMC is at least worth double what it is right now by the end of the year, just in my personal thoughts. So that's why for me it's so easy to hold. Daryl says, what is up with SANP? Kathy Woods said bye bye bye, and it went to crap crap crap. So Daryl, that is a good question. Actually, I haven't really heard of that stock or kept up with that one. It's funny because, but we do have to keep in mind that Kathy Wood, she's made some great plays, but not every play is going to be right. Not every play is going to be a winner. And some plays, while they may be a winner, it might just take a second. So, I have made the mistake where I purchased a stock where someone else was convicted. And actually I did that with SOS and stuff. So it was somebody else's conviction, not my conviction. And I bought up here and I'm down here now and I'm not feeling so good about the stock, So I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to hold and hopefully, and I did buy options here. Hopefully my options will print, but if it doesn't, then I'm okay with just waiting for a little bit. I'll wait, no problem. But it doesn't feel so good whenever someone else, you kind of just followed somebody blindly. So I would exercise caution. I would definitely exercise caution following anyone blindly. But, especially when it goes down, it was like, well, this is a very, very good lesson that I've learned now, that I will not follow people. I've always chosen my own stocks. I've never really taken anybody's opinion. And so typically, because if someone's talking about a stock, then it probably already made some kind of move. And the question is, will it make another move again? Will it retrace or what? So that's why I really never followed anybody's opinion. This particular person was just so passionate about it that I was like, sure. I mean, they can't be wrong, can they? And they may not be wrong just yet, but so far in the short term, it has not felt so good, is what I'll say. Gamestop finally green, not looking too bad, up just over 1% on the day. So we'll see which way this goes. Candle has about 20 seconds before it closes. Ian says, I have a question on the utilization rate. What happens if it goes to 100%, possibly even goes higher? So theoretically, utilization rate, I believe utilization is like how many shares are actually being like traded. And so, or like how many, let me see. What is I just want to make sure I say it right. I'm pretty sure I know like exactly how to say it. Let's look at Investopedia. Okay, so utilization fee is a periodic fee regularly assessed against a borrower by a lender of a loan term. A utilization fee is part of the terms of the loan as issued by the creditor or lender. Utilization fees are charged by lenders, often when borrowers tap out of large portions of their line of credit or loan. That did not help me at all. The fees based. So, okay. So, but either way, from my understanding, the higher the utilization, the better. That is only good. Now, granted, the utilization, it kind of goes up and down, but we want it to be as high as possible. It's just like great. Opinionated, welcome. Billy says, where would one go to get insight on what plays to make? There's no real definitive answer, especially for good plays. You can go on Google, YouTube, anywhere. You can watch Mad Money with good old Jim Cramer, and he will tell you plays to make all day long. He'll tell you what plays to make, and that's that. And And then you can follow him blindly and say, but you can watch montages of videos of him being absolutely wrong, terribly wrong. And that's that. Maybe he's right a few times, but I guess what? If I tell you every single day, these stocks are going up, these stocks are going down, I'm going to be right eventually, and then that's what people will hold on to, the right plays. And so, I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous. And it's hard to choose. So I would kind of think. So right now we're in a very unique situation. We're in a very interesting market, and it's basically like a bull market, right? Meaning stocks are going to go up. There was a huge crash last year, essentially, whenever we went in March 18th, whenever we went into lockdown, or at least, yeah, when most countries, I suppose, went into lockdown. And so now what we're doing is we are, a lot of stocks are recovering. So the question is, what stock do you think is going to recover? What stock don't you think is going to recover? For example, an easy one, let's say you wanted cruise lines. Here's cruise lines. This is how they looked over 5 years. And this is where they currently are. They're at 28.44, and the cruise lines aren't even open yet. So imagine how many people want to go on cruise lines, and what's going to happen. Now, granted, they could go bankrupt, and this will just plummet, and there it goes. Or if they do launch their cruise lines, which they're close, they're trying to do, will they reach back up to this $40 mark before it all crashed? So that's the question. Or maybe they'll go up to 72, but what do you think will happen? And again, I do think that they might retrace before this, just because they're a little high currently. They're but they might, again, they might retrace, and it'll be good. Might be a good entry. Even if it does retrace, let's say you did buy here. Even if it does retrace, I mean, hey, you still have all this range to go. So it's a few different options, and those are ways to think of stocks. Now, currently, we're in a unique situation because that is not, I've picked a lot of stocks with that mentality, and it's great, but there's a lot of other things you want to look at to pick stocks, more traditional way, looking at the price to earnings, stuff like that. And so, yeah, let me close this stuff. Sorry, guys. Okay, so sorry, I had a work thing. So yeah, those are just some options, some ways to look at stocks. I have been looking at a lot of stocks, Billy. We look at stocks, so make sure you're tuning in and stuff, and I'll give you some good plays, or what I can't say if they're good plays. Give you some plays that I personally like, and you can you can choose to jump in, you can choose not to jump in, but you can look at the facts. One of the plays that I really like, that I always talk about, is IVR. IVR is a great play in my personal opinion. I think it's a long-term play. It's a long-term hold, but I think it has opportunity for a lot of upside. And so we can see here in the past like 5 years, they're not doing too bad, and they're down. And granted, this is a mortgage company, and people were having trouble when it went to the pandemic. People have trouble paying the bills, yada yada yada. And so, but look, they've been recovering nice and steady. They haven't had their huge jump. A lot of people, they jump in, they chase these stocks after they have a huge jump, and they're probably going to retrace. So I get passionate, guys, but yes. So hopefully that helps you just a little bit, Billy. Silver says, why do all content creators, DD writers, state that they are not financial advisors? Silver, that's because there's a lot of legal stuff that goes into this. And so I think it all kind of started, and this is kind of random, but I think it all kind of started with like Fire Festival. And so Fire Festival, those influencers who they were just doing promos for the Fire Festival before it even started. And they said, oh, Fire Festival is going to be great, yada, 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 a bunch of cool stuff. And those influencers, they got like sued and stuff. They got in huge trouble for promoting something that it kind of failed, and it wasn't even really their fault. How are they supposed to know it failed? They were paid to perform, and they performed, and they got in trouble. So it was crazy. So now, if you notice on Instagram, whenever anybody's advertising something, they have to put hashtag ad. There was a lot of reform. Well, I don't know about reform, but there were a lot of changes that happened for legal reasons to make sure that people cover themselves. And so, I have to say, I'm not a financial advisor. It's not financial advice, because I need to protect myself, you know. And I want you guys to know, like, I'm not an expert, you know. I didn't go to college for this, you know. I'm passionate about it. I love talking about it. I do my own research, and I'm self-taught. Okay, and some people like self-taught, some people don't like self-taught, and you know. But I'll just be honest with you guys all the time. Okay, so AS says, if you had to take a guess between naked shorts, ETFs, dark pools, everything together, how many shares do you think AMC is actually shorted? 500 million, a billion? You know, I really couldn't even guess. All I really care about though is I believe it is shorted more than the float. So for example, you know, if we look at AMC stock, that's not how you spell AMC. And if we look at AMC, right, we can see here, is the float on here? Float, no. AMC float. I think it's on market beat or something. I guess we can, I need to start using this one. Float. That doesn't seem right, does it? Wow, why are these numbers so different? Okay, so the public float, this is the one I've typically seen, is about 447 million, right? So in the public float is just basically how, and this is something I'm going to be covering in the course, guys, how to read stuff as simple as this. Okay, and I'm going to give you guys the tools, give you guys the websites, stuff like that, just so you can kind of compare websites, see, and sometimes they're a little different, but you can see, you know, typically a lot of them are just, you know, they're supposed to be the same because it's just what it is. But anyways, for the public float, so I think it's higher than this, right? And so that's all that really matters, because theoretically, these guys are just going to have to buy. They're going to have to buy shares from every single person that is holding. Okay, and this is why it's so important. And the longer people hold, the harder it will be for them to buy shares. And the harder it is for them to buy shares, the higher the price goes. Because in order for there to be a buyer, in order for them to buy a share, there has to be a seller. And if you don't want to sell your share for anything less than, you know, $1,000, then you don't have to. And that goes, and, you know, granted, you don't have to even if other people are, but it's really about if now, however, if, you know, paper hands over here decides they want to sell at $20, then you know what? They're theoretically, they're not really helping the cause, but even then there's still more shares that they need to purchase. So there's going to be a lot more. So if the majority of people do hold until about, you know, 1,000 theoretically, then they're going to have to match it, because they will be forced legally to purchase the shares back. They will be absolutely forced, no matter what the cost is. And that's the position that they put themselves in. Good morning, Humble. Hey, no problem, Billy. Oh, okay. North Atlantic, is that a... I don't see North Atlantic on here. I don't think we can purchase it. Yeah. Unless it's... Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, see, I don't think it's on our exchange. Unless I'm confused. Yeah, see. I've never heard of this one. This looks like... You see how this is Stock Exchange? Norway Stock Exchange or something? North Stock Exchange. I don't really know too much about that one. Close this for a sec. Excellent, excellent. So let's see what's going on with these stocks. Oh boy, we look away for just a second. Look what happens. Let's look at the 1 day, see what's been going on. So a bit of a dip. And, you know, this is what a lot of people were anticipating, that for these to continue to dip, this week. And I'm looking for the right entry point to purchase some more. I will be averaging up basically no matter what, unless GameStop drops below, I guess 130 or something, which it might, which is very possible. So I would be looking to average down on GameStop. But as far as AMC, regardless how low it goes, I do think that I'll be averaging up either way. So, and I'm fine with that. But I am looking for an entry point this week to add to my positions. I've been just kind of saving, just waiting for a dip to go ahead and just eat it all up. It does look a little oversold on the RSI currently. We'll see if that continues. If we zoom out a little bit, we can see even then it's getting close to oversold territory. So just zooming back in, we can see just a lot of pressure from both sides. I see a lot of buy orders coming in, a lot of sell orders coming in. And again, this could be those, theoretically, these could be those dark pool trades trading back and forth to artificially drive the price down. I would not be surprised if it recovered to at least, even $9.30 here. I would not be surprised in the least bit. GameStop down to 150 now, down 5% on the day, and AMC down 3.5% on the day. So, I'm okay with this. And if you're panicking right now, then I don't know, it's not for the faint of heart, I guess. I really can't tell you what to do, but I'm okay with what's going on. I'm perfectly okay. SOS in now. SOS is doing fantastic. Thank you. Diamond. Wait, was it Diamond? Yes. So yeah, 5%, not bad, not bad. 10%, not even better. Even better. So almost 10% on the day. I love it. Retracing just a little bit. We'll see if it bounces back around here or something. Maybe like 560 or 565 or something. But if it bounces before that, that'll be great. It does have about 10 seconds left on this candle, and we'll see which way it goes. AMC has dropped below $9. So it touched it for a second. You saw that notification there, and that's what happened there. But and this may be and we've seen it whenever we look at, and again, this is not the same situation. I just want to emphasize that. But VW squeeze, a lot of people are thinking that we're going to see something like this, where it dips bad and very bad, scares the paper hands, and then it moons. Okay. And I think this took 2 days for it to moon. So that's just this one. Some take longer. One of them we looked at took 2 weeks. So it could take a long time, but I'm hanging out. And so I'm with, who said that? Honeywine says, panicking, I'm sad I spent all my powder. Right. And so, this is looking more and more appetizing to me as it goes lower. Like, I cannot wait for it to go lower. And not, that sounds kind of weird, but I would not mind if it went lower, because it's looking more and more appetizing the more it dips, because I just can't wait to buy more. And gosh, I'm excited. I would be a millionaire if we held AMC to 1K. Yeah, I think a lot of people probably would, huh? What about those 2 new airlines? Which airlines? New airlines? Yeah, and you know what? It's a good point. Someone is saying the market is just down. Look, guys, it's a red day in the market. It's just a red day. And so it is what it is. We're gonna see what happens. We're gonna see what goes. And it's gonna have red days, it's gonna have green days. It's gonna have multiple red days, multiple green days. So you just have to be ready to take the good with the bad. Okay, so Harry says, might be a silly question, but how can this happen again if GameStop should have woken big boys up? They could they blindside apes somehow? So full disclosure. So here's theoretically what happened, right? So these guys were, and we have to actually let's go 5 years out, right? And so if we go 5 years out, look, these guys have been shorted, right? And granted, maybe this is partially their business practices, partial shortness, possible, short pressure, stuff like that. And so this is what happened. And then we had this, right? So if we go here, and let me zoom in a little bit for this one. So then we're here, right? And so whenever they were down to about $2, and even before when they were at like $15 on the way down, since I think 2019, Roaring Kitty has been talking about how the position on GameStop, how they've been short more than the float. And so what happened is he just said, guys, I think I see something here, and this looks a little weird. And so people were looking at it, and people were like, you know what, it's $2 or whatever, sure, I'll go ahead, I'll buy in, I'll buy a few shares. And people started buying shares, and it started to go up a little bit, and people started buying more shares. And then people were in their position where it's like, holy smokes, this stock is like going nuts. And so, so theoretically, right, what they should have done is they should have gotten out of their position at any point. Even if they got out, at $14, it would have been better for them. But they were thinking that people were going to get bored of it. They're going to leave it. They're going to quit. And so the theory right now, the running theory is it went all the way up and they didn't sold. So what they're doing is they're paying interest on their shorts. And this is all, theory, but follow me here. Theoretically, they're paying interest on their shorts right now, right? And they're continuing to pay interest, and they're not delivering shares that they need to deliver, blah, blah, blah. They're just paying a bunch of fees, but it's cheaper for them to pay those fees, even if it's millions of dollars, than pay billions, of dollars for the shares, because they don't want to do that. So they'd rather eat those up, and hopefully we get bored. So whenever it ran up, it's theorized that, at $500 or whatever, they were like, okay, well, this isn't going to stay here, so we're going to double our position, because now we're really going to make some money. These guys are going to sell out, they're going to be done with it, and they're going to get out. And so and then trading halted, and it was just a huge mess, blah, blah, blah. But theoretically, they doubled down, and maybe they did make some money on the way down here, but they're so greedy, they're probably still holding. And so these guys are just in an absolutely terrible position, and the stock really isn't doing anything too crazy. Sure, it's at 140, but it was at $2 before. They almost bankrupted GameStop, and if they would have forced them to go under, essentially, then they would have really paid out. They would have really, because they don't have to pay like taxes and stuff, and so that's why they short it, blah, blah, blah. Or that's not why they short it, but they don't have to pay taxes in it, so that's why they continue to drive down their, go down their short position. But they were also naked shorting. So they just put themselves in a terrible, terrible, very, very greedy position. And that is why they're in such a just bad place. Now, could they blindside us? Yes, absolutely. If these guys theoretically, yes. If they find some kind of loophole, which I don't think they're going to find, then yes, if they could somehow weasel their way out of their position. I don't think they'll find it, though, because if they knew about it already, then they would have probably already done it, unless they really think we're still going to get bored. And that's probably their game. They're probably looking for an exit strategy while hoping that we get bored, and maybe they don't have to use that exit strategy. Meanwhile, the DTCC is saying, it's like watching, and they're like, saying, okay, well, you guys are, they'll have like a spotlight on them saying, okay, well, this is what you guys are doing. Like, we see you. And once Rule 801 passes, we are going to come down, and you guys are going to pay every single penny that you owe everybody. And we're going to make an example out of you. It's in my head what like the DTCC is saying with all these filings, that they're like rushing out to trying to get out as soon as possible, so they're not stuck bag holding. Remember, if Citadel is like, okay, or whoever is like, hey, okay, we're just gonna go bankrupt, be done with it, then who's gonna have to pay for this? The DTCC. They're insured for like $67 trillion, or the stocks are insured, whatever it is, and somebody's gonna pay. And and honestly, as much as I want the hedge funds to, whether they go under, they get in trouble, more regulation, whatever it is, I'm okay, because I know that I'm going to get paid because I'm holding. And I feel like, there's a lot of things really on the ape side. Corey, you're my Oprah. Windows to the real world. Trody, AMC feels like it will squeeze. Panicking. Yeah. Okay. I already read some of these. What stock should I invest in? I can't really tell you what stock to invest in. I do talk about some plays that I really, really, really like. Personally, currently, I really like, and I think you're probably new here, so welcome, by the way. I talk about these kinds of plays all the time that I really, really like. And there are things as simple as, EVs. Who's making EV batteries that are going to sell it to GM? Well, so the car, Ford, all of these guys. Who is going to sell these to those people? Stuff like that, and there's a lot of different industries to get into. I like cruises right now. I think when they open, they'll probably have a good bounce and they'll be good. And people want to go places. I personally, I really like AMC as their, not from a short squeeze perspective, from a just a business perspective. They're finally opening, blah blah blah. The vaccine is out, all this good stuff. So there's some really good plays. Airlines might be good. People are going to be traveling. People want to go places. I think venues are going to be good because people are going to want to go to concerts. People are going to want to get out and do things. Those are my personal favorite plays right now. I do have like specific stocks that I talk about. I am running super low on time right now, but yeah. So if you follow along, watch the stream, watch previous streams, you'll see I call out a bunch of plays. Some with like 10 times potential. I mean, I have some crazy stocks that I'm like, they're longer plays, but I think they're going to print. I really think they'll print. Okay, guys, hey, no problem. No problem, Harry. I as you can tell, I just love talking about this stuff. I'll talk about it all day. And so, so let's see, I'll read this comment and then I do have to just start wrapping up, guys. No matter what happens with AMC or GME, there's nothing changed. They're so ridiculously short in their positions and they have to cover, period. Yeah, I feel the same. Okay, so this is a good question that I want to address, and this will be my last question. Is there really any point in investing anything now in other than AMC and GME? So theoretically, if you are not in these stocks and you're like, there are some stocks, look, these stocks, you could have made 70% today. Like there are good stocks, or, you could have lost 35% today in some of these stocks. But the question is, would you have been in those stocks? So there are always some good plays. But I feel like I'm very happy with AMC and GameStop. In my personal opinion, even with no squeeze, especially AMC, I feel like it's going to at least double by the end of the year, even without a squeeze. So I feel very, very comfortable and I'm good with my positions in these stocks. And so, yeah, but theoretically, if these do go and squeeze, then, so in my eyes, here's how I see it. Worst case scenario, I'm going to double or triple my money. Best case scenario, oh my gosh, I'm going to the moon. And so that's that. Guys, I have to run. I have to absolutely run to work right now. But I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I'll leave you guys with my buy screen for just a second. And I will talk to you guys very soon. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I will be on tonight at 6 p.m. Central, and we'll be streaming, having a good old time. And I will see you guys then, all right? You guys have a great day. There's a fire sale, so if you were looking to reduce your average price, this may be a good opportunity for you to average down. Okay, I gotta run, guys. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. You guys have a great day. Peace.